You, Gemini, would do well to focus on the important things in life this month. Specifically, home and family may demand your benevolent attention, as well as your career. And just how free do you want to be? We'll talk about all of that. I am Nadia, the astrologer for people who do not believe in astrology but who love hearing their monthly forecasts, and this is yours for September 2025. Month starts off with Saturn, the planet of hard work, responsibility, but also limitations and restrictions, backtracking from Aries into Pisces. It was in Pisces since 2023, and now it's just going to return there for a few months to finish up some old business before it dives into the fresh, fiery sign of Aries again in 2026. In your case, this unfinished business that Saturn needs to take care of is your official status, your career, your business maybe, whatever it is you do in your most official role. Could also have to do with your official status that's important for your social standing, like married or divorced, migrational status, an academic title. Maybe you started something in this area and things started moving along, but now they're stuck again and there's some delay or some hurdle you need to deal with it. Saturn will leave this area of your horoscope for good in February 2026, but until then, expect it to require more time and effort than what seemed necessary 1 or 2 months ago. You will get there, unless, of course, there's something you really need to let go of, and Saturn is returning to make sure you say your goodbyes. Position and activities of Mercury, your cosmic core conspirator, are always of interest to you, Gemini. On the 2nd of September, it's entering Virgo, and it will speed through all of it in just 16 days to leave it on the 18th. In your horoscope, Virgo represents your home and family, and Mercury will create opportunities to solve some issues, take on some tasks you have been postponing, filing some home or family related papers, having some talks regarding how or where you live, maybe taking a trip to visit your relatives or getting them to sign something, or maybe having a coming out moment with your family, or just surprising them with some news. Now, before we come any further, by now you probably know it pays to watch the forecast for both your sun sign and your rising sign. As good as that is, it still will not show you how the transits we're talking about are working with other important points in your chart, like your Venus or your midheaven, or how your progress chart is unfolding, which is basically your individual developmental plan. That's the kind of deeper personal layer I cover in private readings, and you can book one with me through the link up here and below in the description. Now back to your month ahead. The full moon may be of some importance to you. It's happening in Pisces on the 7th of September, and it's a total lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses can be seen as a crack in the continuity of our emotional instincts that the moon represents. And through this crack, the fate moves in where habits, attachments, and unconscious needs usually rule. For you, Pisces rules the area of your career, your business, your reputation, and social status. Everything you do in your most official role, and also the relationships you have with the officials. And it is here that in the days surrounding the full moon/eclipse, your normal attitudes or habitual reactions may temporarily leave you and give way to something new. And this new may lead to some changes that are good for this official part of your life. But back to Mercury. On the 18th, it's moving on from Virgo to the next sign of Libra, a friendly to you fellow air sign. From here, Mercury will be helping you organize fun, pleasant activities, meet friends, talk to lovers, flirt, play games, entertain yourself and others, make jokes. There may be some fun trips or some questions that stimulate your curiosity and lead to something even more interesting. Venus, on the other hand, will spend most of the month in Leo up until the 19th of September, and this is your area of communication, intellectual labor, and information. Venus will be helping you present your points more graciously and diplomatically and attractively, and eventually with more success. After the 19th, it will be gracing the next sign of Virgo, which, like I already said, is responsible for your home and family. So after the 19th, this is where Venus will be helping you to create more beauty and love and more diplomacy, which you're probably going to need because on the 21st of September, we are having the new moon in Virgo, so in the same area, which is also a solar eclipse. I will remind you that we already had a normal new moon in Virgo in August. This is a bonus one. Sometimes it happens that a lunar event like a new moon or a full moon falls into the very beginning of the sign, and when that happens, the next new or full moon falls into the same sign only at the very end. So this month we have a lunar and a solar eclipse, and I already explained to you that the lunar eclipses our habitual emotional reactions. Well, the solar eclipse covers part of the sun, and the sun stands for the ego, for our conscious will, for the way we see ourselves as the main characters. With that temporarily out of the way, solar eclipses are the conduits of fate that acts in spite of what we want. This particular one may direct you or push you out of an outdated home or family situation. You may be ego-identified with something and unable to imagine an alternative, but things happen and wow, now you need to take them into consideration and act accordingly. Basically, take things as they come and remember that Venus is also in Virgo, so use its powers to smooth out the rough edges in whatever happens in your home and family that maybe not everyone expected. Right after that, on the 22nd of September, Mars, the cosmic warrior planet, will leave Libra, the sign that is maybe a bit too peaceful and evasive for Mars's taste, and move into Scorpio. Great for Mars, but is it good for you? From Scorpio, it will be able to lend you some of its raw energy in day-to-day activities. So the weeks after the 22nd of September are the best for introducing some sport into your schedule or for shaking things up in your already existing sport routine, making it more feisty, more It may also bring conflicts with co-workers, unfortunately, but it's not like they cannot be constructive conflicts that motivate you to either get better or get more active about protecting what's yours. Eventually, it may lead to higher earnings in October, so don't be afraid to let in some adrenaline into your day-to-day work environment. As you can see, the month seems pretty fateful, and your ruler Mercury will be working at top speed to help you get a good orientation once the circumstances start changing. It's actually one of your strengths. While others are still getting their heads around what just happened, you are on and ready to go. And you may need to show this strength of yours this September. If this resonated, consider subscribing to be notified when the next forecast comes out, and have a beautiful September, Gemini.